Hello, I'm doing a book review on Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. I just wanted to do a quick review on this. It's already been a little while since I read it, so I'm going to have to try to remember what I thought of it. I mean, I guess the basic thing is I liked it, but it definitely has plot holes that kind of take away from it. Now, part of my problem is that I was looking at reviews on Amazon before I bought it, and somebody gave away the basic thing that is causing the problem, so then I couldn't be surprised, I guess. So it wasn't like I get to the end and oh, I didn't think of that. Although some people probably would think of it anyway. I probably wouldn't have thought of it if I hadn't read it and gotten spoiled. I have a tendency to do that to myself anyway. I don't know why. Anyway, the basic premise of the book, if you haven't heard much about it, is that this woman, when she wakes up in the morning, she has no idea who she is. She has no idea who the guy in bed with her is. She thinks she's about like 20 years old in college or something. And she gets up and goes to the bathroom and looks in the mirror and is shocked to see that she's in her mid to late 40s, something like that. And she's like, what the heck? And then she sees that there's pictures of her and her husband stuck up on the mirror and notes that tell her who she is and what's going on. And so this is the way she wakes up every day, because she can remember this stuff that she learns in the morning. She can learn it throughout the day. Whatever she learns throughout the day, she remembers it for that day, but then it goes away and she forgets it while she's asleep for any length of time. So then when she wakes up, it's a whole new day again. No idea who she is. That's not necessarily a totally original idea for a book, but some people, it's rare, but some people do have that disorder, so it's not totally just fictional that someone could have that. And that's the part that to me is makes the book scary, just because she can't rely on herself. She can't rely on what she's written in her diary to herself. And she writes every day in the diary so that she can try to remember more and more stuff. So then every day she has to read more and more stuff. And that's kind of one of the plot holes, is that she would have to keep reading more and more and more about herself. So, whatever. I don't know. There's some other plot holes, but I can't really say without giving away the ending. I guess I should have seen the ending coming even if I hadn't been spoiled already. And the ending is... And then the very ending is sort of... I don't know, in one way it's almost sort of Pollyanna. But in another way, you don't get any closure. You don't get to find out what happens after that. It's sort of overly optimistic, sort of almost, but like forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, overly optimistic, yet also you don't get to see for sure if that optimism is going to come to fruition. So that's one of my problems with it. But there's quite a few plot holes, but if you can overlook them, there's a lot of stuff that's interesting too, like just her always finding out something new and shocking about herself, and then having to find it out again the next day and the next day. And some people find that makes the book boring, to have to read her, oh, I found out that I'm married and blah blah blah, and then the next day you have to read, oh, I found out I'm married and blah blah blah, and then it adds a little bit more and a little bit more, and you kept having to read the same stuff over and over. But that's the way she really would be if there was really a person having that problem and writing it down every day. That's what they would be doing. So I thought that part was actually rather realistic. Overall, I liked it. I'd give it like 3 out of 5 stars on Amazon's rating, because you have to suspend disbelief to a certain extent, but it's also interesting, I think, and it's more of a psychological thing until the very end when the climax happens and the shit hits the fan and all that. Anyway, talk to you later.